His name's Where Did You Come From? And my name's Where Did You Go? Cotton Eye Joe. And this is the Kickin' Ash Podcast. We're back, baby.
I like that one. That was a good one.
Just came to me in a vision of I don't know.
Cotton, Eyes, and Joe.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
Literally those three ingredients.
Well, look, man, we got something a little bit different going on tonight. Something a little bit special as well.
Yes, I'm very excited for this.
We are actually going to be patching in one of our very good friends. His name is Brody. We've talked about him a couple times before, I'm sure.
Mhm.
He is on Instagram at Cigar Spy. Brody and I go back multiple years now, and me and him both together run the cigar group on Facebook, Cigar Society, that we talk about as well. So Brody's kind of my second better half aside from Logan. So we're going to patch him in tonight. Huge LSU fan. He lives in Louisiana. So we're going to talk a little bit about LSU tonight. And who better to have one than Brody?
Smoking Joe Burrow, baby.
Nobody.
I'm excited.
Fucking raging Cajun Fontenot. And
Fontenot.
Yeah. But Brody's a killer guy. Go check him out on Instagram. Follow him. We're going to patch him in, talk about some things. He's actually at Stogie's in Houston tonight.
Yeah.
That's where he's going to be interviewing with us and from. And we're very excited to talk, just shoot the shit with him, honestly. That's what we're doing tonight.
Yeah, super excited to invite somebody who I'm happy he's our first guest on the podcast.
Absolutely.
Because,
huge honor.
He, like you said, he's been a near and dear friend to you. More recently, me and him have got to connect now that we started this endeavor. And he's been such a cool guy to me. He was my Secret Santa in our cigar group, and he totally obliterated me with some friggin' awesome cigars. He's just an overall good dude from the conversations that we've had. So yeah, get excited for that. But first, we're going to let you know what we're smoking during that conversation. I am smoking the Tabernacle Havana Seed, which I am very excited about. This is Foundation, if I'm correct, right?
Correct.
Just want to make sure. I was pretty sure, but I don't have the stuff in front of me tonight because we're kind of flying by the seat of our pants as usual. But this is a cigar that I have seen so much recently, and another viewer of ours and friend to us, Joe Conathan. Shout out to you, Joe. I believe he had this rated as his number one cigar of 2019. A lot of other people did as well. And that kind of, when I saw him post that, I was like, man, I got to try this cigar. So many people have talked so well, highly of it. So I reached out to Brett at Tobaccology, who you guys have heard us talk about, many times before. Said, Brett, hook me up with some Tabernacle. And lo and behold, in my mailbox a couple days later, there they were. And I am super excited. I've only given this about 2 weeks of rest, but I just can't wait any longer. I've got to smoke this thing. So got some other ones that I'll let age a little bit longer, but for me, it's one that I just have to dive into. So what about you, man? What you got?
I'm smoking yet again something from Blackwork Studio. I was also gifted a lot of these Blackwork Studio cigars and Black Label Trading Company and so forth. So I really have been eyeing this one for a while, and I didn't want to smoke another Blackwork Studio back to back, but I just couldn't help it. I had to tonight. So I'm smoking the Boondock Saint. This cigar, man, this wrapper is very toothy, but also velvety soft. It smells like chocolate and honestly a little bit like beef jerky. Just shove that up your nose hole there once.
Yeah, it does. I definitely get that.
Got like a sweet chocolatey beef jerky scent to it. It's pretty nice, but it's also very earthy and very great.
You were pretty spot on with the smell of that. So
yeah, hopefully it tastes as good as it smells.
Yeah, so there you guys have it. We're gonna cut to our conversation with Brody and smoking these awesome cigars tonight. And as always, we encourage you to light one up with us and smoke along. We're live.
All right, we are live. Brody, we already did our introduction. We introduced you, but I told him how terrible of a person you are and how loose your butthole was.
Well, I appreciate that. And and right now it's feeling especially loose now that I'm on the phone with you guys.
I know, right?
Oh, nice. We're
We
ready.
tend to stretch it out a little,
And just our words,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
It's the girth.
I enjoy it.
How's it going, man? How you doing? You're in Houston at Stogie's, correct?
I am. I'm at Stogie's in Houston. Jorge Abood owns the place, and Jenny Lee Hayes manages the place. And I just happened to come in when they're both here, so they've already taken good care of me. And the one thing about coming to this place is that if you get a little bit of inside scoop or inside knowledge, they always hook you up with the secret stash. So I'll have a bunch of goodies to go home with. And this place is awesome, by the way. It's probably the biggest humidor I've ever been in.
Nice.
And he also is known, and what most people around the United States known for is he's the Lancero King. So any Lancero that you could possibly that's been made, he has. And then he also has the H-Town series where he has special blends made just for his shop. So pretty cool.
You know, man, I have a Remacraft H-Town Lancero, and I almost grabbed it to smoke it tonight in honor of you being in Houston, and I didn't.
Oh, and it's good too. It's good. In fact,
man, it looks great.
Yeah, he's already hooked me up with a couple. So every time I come here, he goes and grabs some out of his vault. You know, how Brett has a vault where he has his vault. So I got a couple of those and a couple other surprises. So I'm excited about it.
Awesome. Well, we'll let you know what we're smoking so we can kind of talk about that. But you know, why don't you start us off? What do you got?
Well, I'm smoking the Room 101 Farce Lonsdale. And that actually was, I think it was number 22 on Cigar Aficionado.
Yep.
Their 2019 list. So it made the list, which was cool. And it's pretty amazing cigar. It's the second one I've had. And right off the bat, when you light it, the first thing you taste, even though it's not at all infused, you do get a really, really sweet cookie kind of puff off that first puff. Nice. I don't know what he does or how it happens.
Sure.
But I guess it's the blend. But it's a really super sweet, and then you get a nice little peppery burn after it. I'm probably about midway through it, I guess, but somewhere in the second, third, and super consistent. It burns perfect. Haven't had to retouch it one time. No burn issues, and you know, the one thing that I really get out of it the most is that it's a good earthy, almost, it's not really cedar, but it's like a earthy, different kind of wood. I'm trying to think it's almost like a barrel wood, you know, even though it's not barrel aged or anything, but it's good. So yeah, something like that. Teak.
Teak wood, yeah. That's that popular Matt Booth profile going into a cigar, man. That kind of sums up. I don't know if you've had the Part Deux hit and run that he did with Robert Caldwell or not, but that cigar has a very sweet, woody, earthy taste to it as well. So it doesn't surprise me. It sounds pretty much right on par with that. Logan, why don't you go ahead and tell us what you got?
I'm smoking the Tabernacle Havana Seed tonight, and by Foundation. And I was saying in our little intro that so many people have been posting this like throughout the group and all that. Like I was saying, I think Joe Conathan actually had it as his number one for the year, and so I had to hit up Brett and be like, dude, I need that cigar. I've heard so many good things. Have you had that, Brody?
Yes, I have. It's wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah. You'll absolutely enjoy it. Is this the first time you had it? You said I didn't hear if you said it the first time.
Yeah. This is my first time smoking it.
You'll enjoy it all the way through. It's a really, really great cigar.
Yeah. So far, I just lit it up and just right off the bat, it's got like this really nice sort of black pepper taste to it, and kind of some heavy wood, and maybe just like a tinge of like dark chocolate as well to it. So I'm hoping that that carries through a little bit, because those are kind of my right up my alley as far as flavor is concerned.
Sure. Brody, I have a feeling you probably smoked this one too. I'm smoking the Boondock Saint by Blackwork Studio. Have you had that one?
I have not. That is one that I haven't had. So you got me on the shocker. I haven't had that one yet.
All right, good. So this is actually my first time smoking that. This one came from Martin Balderas out of my Secret Santa. I wanted to dive into some more Roma Crafts and Black Label Trading Company stuff. So he sent me a couple of these, and it smelled like chocolate and beef jerky. I mean, spot on. That's exactly what the scent was like. Lighten it up, a little bit of pepper. It's a creamy smoke. The draw's a little bit looser than what I like, but it's not bad. Soft, velvety, toothy wrapper. As I mentioned in the intro, but chocolate, earthy, creamy. So far, this is pretty outstanding as well.
Excellent.
Heck yeah. So,
yeah.
So, Brody, you're a frequenter of Stogie's. Then, do you go there pretty often?
I try to. The thing is that Stogie's is on the side of town where my office over here in Houston is not.
Okay.
So you'll notice that I spend a lot of time posting at the place called the Smoke Ring.
Okay.
That's south of Houston in an area called Webster. So I go there a lot. That's Tyler Ruxtall. If you've seen Tyler, he runs that place.
Yep.
But he's in Cigar Society.
Yeah.
But I really, really try to come over here as much as I can because, I mean, it's as friendly a place as you could possibly have when you come into this place. So I probably get here 4 or 5 times a year.
Nice.
Much more like I said, much more at the Smoke Ring because it's my hotel. I can walk from my hotel to that place, so it's it's convenient.
Yeah, you can't beat that.
and he has a huge selection of boutique cigars as well. Both of these places do, which you don't see a lot of. I mean, they have a lot of shops with all the standards, but not too many that have a big selection of boutiques, and both of these places do. So
awesome.
That's why I love it.
So are you like, this is just interesting to me always, like, are you kind of, when you go to a lounge, are you like how many cigars on average do you smoke? Do you sit there for a couple hours, smoke through a couple? Do you just knock out one and leave, or what's your style when you go in there?
The answer is yes. So it all depends on the time I have, and I will say that I usually have the evening from 5 o'clock on when I'm here in Houston and traveling. So I get to grab a bite to eat and spend a good 2, 3, sometimes even 4 hours at a shop.
Nice.
And so yeah, I'll go through at least a couple, and sometimes hit a third. And that's about the only time that I do that normally. I mean, if you see me, I'm pretty much a one a night kind of smoker.
Gotcha.
But I do get to smoke a few more cigars whenever I hit the shops because, again, especially when I'm out and about, because I'm by myself, don't have any worries.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to sit in my hotel room and watch TV. So I just frequent the shop, and most of these places are BYOB, so you can bring a drink in and
nice.
Lounge out and chill out, grab a few cigars and bring some to go.
That's awesome. Are you drinking anything tonight? Are you pairing anything with your cigar?
Nothing. Unfortunately, nothing tonight. I didn't even get a chance to stop anywhere tonight. So my pairing is actually good old fashioned water.
Oh, nice. That's what we're drinking. We're drinking sparkling water, so not much
right.
more above you. But hey, I wanted to get a chance to actually tell you that I got to smoke some of that hibiki, is it, or hibi? I don't know how you would.
You smoked
or
the
drank
hibiki?
it. I'm sorry, drank it. If I said, we always say smoked all the time, like when we mean something else on this fucking podcast, because we're always smoking something. But I got to drink some of that Japanese whiskey during the McGregor fight. And dude, that stuff is so good, good.
Yeah,
instantly into one of my top 3 whiskeys right now. So
yeah, I was hoping you hadn't had it before, and I'm glad you like it because the one thing about it is the price point is not horrible, but it's sometimes difficult to get,
Yeah,
so
I had never seen it before.
Yeah, I mean, and if there's a place that has a bottle, and they typically the price point is somewhere around $60 to $70,
Okay.
which is a really good price.
Yeah.
You got to scoop them up. I mean, if they'll allow you, sometimes they won't allow you to take more than 1 or 2 bottles.
Right.
But because they just don't get them. They get them and then they're gone for the year.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to definitely scoop another bottle because I can see myself going through this one pretty quickly.
Yeah, I had bought a bottle for myself and it's already gone. So
I'll probably never know how it tastes because yeah, quite a funny story as to why I really no longer.
Have you heard
drink.
this? Have you heard this deal, Brody, about why this man stopped drinking? Well,
no.
he drinks still a little bit. I won't say he completely quit, but he's definitely quit hard liquor by at least 75% since I met him.
Probably more than that.
At my wedding, which was 2018. I gotta remember when my wedding was.
Mm-hmm.
November 2018. We got this dude. I mean, we all got completely plastered on a lot of different things. Like we had a bottle of 10-year Macallan.
Well, hold on. First of all, you're leaving out the major detail that the night before we all crashed at Logan's place.
Right.
And we got there at like 7:00 and we started drinking all night long. I mean, we didn't go to bed until like 3 or 4 in the morning.
Right.
And then we woke up at 7. And then me and one of our good friends, John and Parker, and I think even Logan just walked out to the kitchen immediately, 7 a.m. Cracked open some more bottles and just started drinking.
Just cracked open
all
Coronas.
Fucking day. And we had a full-size 750 milliliter bottle of Macallan 10-year that I was like storing in my fucking suit jacket. There's a picture somewhere of that. And we were just pounding that away. I was, a little bit stoned and we were just drinking all kinds of shit. Beer. We were, and I feel like there was quite a few of us that was like, I mean, it was probably 7, 8 o'clock at this point into PM into Logan's wedding. And I'm like, man, I just do not feel drunk. I don't know what it's going to take, but I cannot get drunk. So we all went and we had this bottle of Buffalo Trace there and the bartender poured us all shots. All right. So first of all, Logan's best man, Rob, bought this bottle of Buffalo Trace and really, really wanted to drink a shot with all of us. And they poured the last one and they were like, who wants it? And I was like, I'll fucking take it. So I took it and Rob's standing right behind him, empty hands. Everybody's drinking his Buffalo Trace. So I downed the shot. And immediately fucking I'm like, I'm drunk as shit now. And then I ended up fucking going downstairs. I was like, all right, I've got a shit now. So I went downstairs and I came up missing for like an hour.
Oh, yeah, hold on. People were literally like, where's Joey? Where's Joey? I'm fucking 10 sheets to the wind. I'm destroyed at this point. And I'm like, I have no clue. Come to find out, this dude was slumped over on the toilet, sitting up on the toilet, asleep.
Yeah, no, and listen, not slumped as in I was throwing up. Slumped as in I took a shit.
He was taking a shit.
I fell against the wall and I was sleeping.
He looked like the Thinker, that statue. And so this dude, I mean, we were all just, way too hammered. We had a great time. But the funny part about it is like now, like since then, I've been trying to get Joey to drink with me and I really can't. He's like, dude, I just can't do it anymore. And so now like my joke is that Buffalo Trace cures alcoholism. Because this dude would just hammer him home before Buffalo Trace. I saw like somebody in the group posted Buffalo Trace cigars. And I was like, dude, I'm getting those for your birthday.
If I open that up and it smells like I just cracked a bottle of Buffalo Trace, I would probably fucking throw up all over them.
I will tell you though that I think you guys know this probably just from posting that's like my go-to bourbon.
Yeah.
Because number one, the price point is super cheap, and number two, it's just to me it's a really smooth bourbon. And that's one that I'll just sip on probably 80% of the time, and the rest of the stuff is just other things that I've bought. But that's like 80% of my sipping on bourbon is Buffalo Trace. It's my fave.
Yeah, it's perfect for that. It's not perfect for drinking it like you're 21 at a club.
No. No.
Especially after having,
Yeah.
half a bottle of 10-year Macallan and
Yeah.
about 38 beers in full,
Yeah,
that was
taco
the
bar.
It was a nightmare, dude.
basically the one that tipped the scale.
Someone was like, "Let's go to a club," and I was just like, "Fuck it, let's go." And then me and my wife was in like slippers, like dancing in the club. Like it was a whole mess, dude. It was it was a good time though. So
Yeah, it was a good time.
To be young.
Come on, man. You're only, what, 59?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, you're drawing Social Security.
Sort of.
It's not a big deal.
I mean, look, man. You've only had one total knee replacement. I wouldn't consider that a total loss.
Well, the hips count. Let's not talk about the hip.
All right,
we love you.
So I want to get into the main topic that I wanted to talk about tonight, which was LSU.
Yeah.
And their championship run, which we already kind of explained in our intro, but just to go over again, Brody, you're a pretty diehard LSU fan.
Oh, absolutely.
Would you say that's probably a little bit of an understatement, even? But
that's a big understatement.
Yeah. And you were telling me last time we got together and spoke on a VHerf, and you were telling me that down there, LSU is like, it overtakes the Saints. Am I correct in saying that?
It does. It's they're in Louisiana and probably stretching into Mississippi. LSU is it, and then there's everything else, right? That's basically how to explain it. I mean, it is Tiger country in Louisiana.
Awesome.
So yeah, it's a passion.
Yeah.
Like win or lose, it's a real passion for a team.
That's awesome. And you were there, correct?
I was there. I had the great fortune of being able to bring my wife, my son, and my daughter. So
that's awesome.
We were originally just going to go, my wife and I, and because, by the way, the tickets were up there. You know,
I'm sure.
Four figures. And we decided, we had bought tickets, and we decided that we were going to, we didn't want our kids to miss out because they had been to all the games with us prior, the home games.
Nice.
So we figured it out, shuffled some things, sold some stock, and and we got them in there.
Nice.
But yeah, truly great experience. Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, they knew that right off the bat, right? that money was coming from their pockets. So they knew that ahead of time.
It's part of your inheritance.
But it was a great experience, and we never, other than halftime and during the commercial breaks or timeouts, we never sat down the entire game. It was that kind of magic. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, it was a really good game. I didn't get a chance to watch all of it, but did you ever feel like you guys didn't have it at any point, or did you feel?
I did not. I did. I've just being able to. I've seen 10 games this year live, and watching them play, and knowing how good Joe Burrow is, and how when things aren't going well, he can just kind of take over. We were down 10 points in that game early. I think it was 17-7.
Yeah.
And my son looked at me and he said, "Dad, I'm getting a little worried here." And I just looked right back at him and I said, "Don't worry about it. That all it is just pissing them off. Just give them a minute." And then they scored 21 unanswered right after that.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and it didn't look hard.
It was never in doubt from that point.
Well, hey man, I have a couple questions regarding Joe Burrow. Because you see already a lot of people are talking about how when he gets into the NFL, he's going to be the next Tom Brady. What do you think regarding that? First of all, where do you want Joe Burrow to land realistically? Do you want him to land in the NFL? Who would you like to see him play for? Aside from the Saints, you can't say the Saints. Because, I mean, that's the obvious answer. And then if you had to say that he would be molded as to anybody in the NFL, quarterback wise, who would you kind of compare him up to?
You know, I tend to agree that, well, the first part of it is that regardless of where I would love to see him play, I'm fairly positive on a 95% that he's going to be at Cincinnati.
Yeah.
So that's going to happen. So, and then like you said, Joey, I can't say the Saints, but that's where I'd want him to play if he wasn't in Cincinnati.
Yeah, of course.
But I just hope that Cincinnati can build a team around him,
Right.
you know, and that's the first thing that they're going to have to do right off the bat is get him an offensive line. So because their offensive line is horrible.
Mm-hmm.
So they're, you know, once they make that first pick, hopefully they'll trade up, get some better picks, and get some build a team around him. And then comparative, like who I compared him to, I actually, and I'm a little older, so I looked at some other guys. Tom Brady's definitely a good thought process. The difference is that Tom Brady is almost 85% a pocket passer.
Yeah.
So he doesn't do much running, and Joe can run when he has to, and he runs well. So I kind of compare him to like a Joe Montana, because Montana used to be able to do that. He was a super great passer, but he could also take off and run if he needed to.
Yeah.
And so I kind of compare him to him. But like I said, that's a little bit further back. You guys probably didn't get to see a whole lot of Joe play, and I did. And it's funny they have the same name, first name. But yeah, I would more compare him to he's comfortable in the pocket, but he can take off when he needs to, and he's got a brick for a chin.
Yeah.
And he could take a hit, and he's not afraid to take a hit, and that's my comparison for him.
It's, you know, it's funny you actually said that, because my comparison actually, I was thinking Steve Young a little bit.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
which they were similar. You know, him and Montana were similar. I mean,
Montana.
Yeah, you know, Steve Young had a little bit of that more athleticism that you kind of see from Joe Burrow. Yeah, so I kind of lended that to Steve Young a little bit, or even like maybe a Kenny Stabler if you go way back. But I think you know, I think like you said, the Cincinnati's probably going to take him. They'd be crazy not to at this point. I mean, you know, some people are saying, oh, it's you know, his hype has kind of been blown out of proportion over one season and whatever. But I saw an interview with him post game, and the kid just like oozes confidence, and you know, just seems to be kind of a natural born leader. And those
No
are the
doubt.
things that you just almost can't coach. You know what I mean? It's just those type of things that are intangibles that he seems to have. And I'm gonna be honest, if Cincinnati didn't take him, I'd have to, you know, me being a Skins fan, I'd have to take a long look and be like, man, I know we just drafted Haskins, but I'd kind of like to see him in a Skins uniform, honestly. Like,
well, I do know one thing that from all the local beat writers here who get inside information, that Cincinnati has received multiple phone calls about trading up for the first pick, and they have not entertained any one of those phone calls.
Yeah.
So I really don't think they have any intention of trading away that pick, somebody else to get him. And I'm expecting that they'll take him.
Yeah, I would be very shocked. Well, staying on the topic of him real quick, I wanted to bring up a conversation of the fact that, you know, why we're kind of talking about Joe more so on this podcast, being a cigar podcast, is because I think we all saw the post of Joe smoking a cigar after the national championship victory. And
awesome.
yeah, I mean, how awesome was that to see? You know, as far as just a guy, you know, enjoying a cigar after, you know, being at the pinnacle of his, you know, current, you know, sport, at least in college, and enjoying a cigar, which is something that you don't really see too often anymore. You saw, like, you know, Joe Namath back in the day,
right,
smoking one and stuff like that. But so I wanted to ask you guys, what would be, and Brody, you may have had a victory cigar after this, but what would be the cigar that you smoked after your team won a championship? What would be your victory cigar?
Well, I'll say this. I'll just start it by saying this, that if you guys remember, the very next day after the game was on a Monday night, that Tuesday I had to come to Houston.
Mm-hmm.
So I left New Orleans at 2:30 in the morning. I'm sorry, I left at 12:30 in the morning. I got home at 2:30. I woke up at about 7:30, drove to Houston, and I had the opportunity to go to the smoke ring, and they happened to have the cigar that Joe Burrow smoked. So that was my very first post victory cigar was the Karl Malone,
nice. Yeah,
the barrel aged. Yeah, La Aurora Karl Malone barrel aged.
Nice.
I smoked one.
What'd you think of it?
I thought it was good, man. It was, it kind of reminded me. It was weird. It kind of reminded me of the old KFC, the Kentucky Fire Cured. It had that.
Nice.
It had that real smoky. I would say it was a combination of like the barrel aged part, the combination of smoky and then real pepper. I mean, like this thing. The further I got into it, the more pepper came out. And it actually was a great cigar. And there were several of us in the shop that smoked one, and we were all pleasantly surprised. Nobody had really smoked them or touched them.
Right.
According to Tyler, he said nobody. And then I walked in. I said, "Well, that's the cigar." And the next thing you know, there's 5 of us. We all bought one. And,
I mean, that's genius. That's genius marketing, honestly.
It is.
Yeah.
He was right. I mean, apparently he was handing them out.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken.
Yes, and his son played at LSU in football. His son was a lineman for LSU.
Okay.
So he was an offensive lineman, and so Karl really took a liking to LSU while his son was there. He went to every game, and so he was down on the field, had several boxes of these things, and had lighters, cutters, the whole 9 yards. And when they went into the back, he was handing them out straight from the box with lighters and cutters, getting everybody hooked up to smoke the cigars. And there's a bunch of backstories about that too. One of which there was a police officer that was threatening to arrest the players because they were smoking in the building. It was against the city code. And 2 things happened. One was Odell Beckham slapped that officer on the ass.
Yeah, I saw that.
If you saw that, that was the officer that was giving trouble to the players, and he was. They put a warrant for his arrest, and then the officer dropped the charges, so he's not in trouble for that anymore.
Yeah.
And then the other part, like I said, they were legitimately being asked to either put them out or be arrested, and one of the coaches said, "You're really going to arrest the national champions while they smoke a cigar for a few minutes before they get on a bus or go back to the hotel."
Right.
And and then he backed off and kind of let it go. So that's a pretty interesting story about that. I mean, they weren't anywhere outside. They were in a private area, and this guy was just trying to do his job, I guess. But ultimately,
sometimes
he lost out.
Yeah, sometimes you're like, come on, man, just be in the moment and don't. Because a lot of people I know gave Odell Beckham flack for basically taking the story off of LSU winning the championship and making it about him.
Yep.
I understand where that's coming from, and I agree with that in a sense. But also, when I saw the video itself, it was kind of like, should he be doing that? Should he be there handing out money? No. But also, like, it's a bunch of dudes. The testosterone, the whole room, the energy in the room. It's like we're all just having a good time, and it kind of seemed like when I saw it, I was like, this kind of looks a little harmless. You know what I mean?
Yep. And then what else was funny too is that he actually gave a wad of cash to Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
And they interviewed Joe about that, and Joe said, "Yeah, I took cash from him." And they said, "Oh, you did?" And he goes, "Yeah." He said, "I graduated, and that was my last game."
Right.
I can do whatever I want.
What are you going to do? Suspend me? Dude, he was wearing that hat that said "Big Dick Joe."
Yeah.
Yeah, that was awesome.
I actually gifted him that hat. I wore that for the first 28 years of my life. So gifted it to him.
He was tired of people asking him why he was wearing it with such a tiny dick.
Yeah, it's true.
So he gifted it.
I actually kind of wanted to go back on Karl Malone a little bit because I actually heard that he likes them really young. His cigars. Come on, get your head out. Yeah. No, that was definitely the joke.
I had forgotten that Karl Malone was a Louisiana guy. He didn't go to LSU himself, but he went to like Louisiana Tech or something like that.
Yeah, he was a Louisiana boy, and then he had some history there, and then like I said, his son, who who ended up not playing basketball or played basketball in high school, but got recruited in college to play football because of his size. It wasn't necessarily because of his height. It was because he was a big kid, you know.
Right.
And so they molded him into an offensive lineman, and he actually was a starter and played very well for LSU.
Oh,
so
nice.
yeah, that was pretty nice. And then Randy Moss's son also plays for LSU. He had 2 touchdowns in the game.
Yeah.
Thaddeus Moss.
I keep seeing Redskins fans going absolutely crazy over Thaddeus Moss. We have to draft him in the 2nd round or the 3rd round or whatever, which I don't hate. We need a tight end. But I mean, I from my understanding, his, and what I've heard and seen, his season was pretty underwhelming aside from the championship game. Am I correct in saying that? Or
you're correct. He's
okay.
He kind of came into his own there towards the end of the season.
Mm-hmm.
He had a really good playoff run and also the SEC championship. He had some good games there.
Okay.
But he was fairly quiet throughout the season, other than he was a tremendous blocker. But sometimes you need that from a tight end, and he did a good job of that. He's a big dude. I mean, he definitely, I think he has an opportunity to become a great player in the NFL, but it's gonna take some work. He's pretty fresh, I guess, when it comes to he's not a phenom, I guess you would say.
Sure.
But he could get there. He's built for it.
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, he's got the the dad who, was one of the greatest receivers of all time too. So
yeah,
you would think some of that would trickle down to him, but sometimes that doesn't always work out. So I mean, look at Joey. His dad's a great man, and Joey turned out to be such a scumbag. So
yeah, well, you can't always get the best genes from your father. And, I didn't get that. Hey, man, look, so I want to kind of back off from the LSU thing a little bit and still stick with Louisiana sports. And I don't know if we've ever really talked about this or not, but are you an NBA fan? Do you watch or keep up with the NBA at all?
No.
Okay, well then never mind. I was just going to talk to you about the Zion Williamson hype and whatnot because being in New Orleans, I'm sure you probably hear, well, not New Orleans, but you being in Louisiana, I'm sure you probably hear a lot of that hype as well, correct?
A ton, yeah, I heard a ton, and I did follow all of that. So I won't say that. I mean, I'm not a huge NBA. I'm more of a college basketball fan.
Yeah.
But not so much NBA. But I did follow the whole story. In fact, I think he's starting this week, isn't he?
He's debuting. Yeah. I'm not sure what night or who he plays against. I haven't really read too much about it.
Yeah, and they've been showing him in the warm-ups and stuff, and he looks. I mean, the guy is as advertised. It just got to keep the guy healthy. I mean, but and the good thing is that the Pelicans are actually kind of gelling at the right time. They're playing some good ball. So you bring Kickin, Zion into the mix, and they could actually start to make a run here as long as he stays healthy. I mean, the guy's an NBA player. He is definitely not a college level trying to work his way up. I mean, he's a full-out grown-ass man.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, Brandon Ingram and Lonzo Ball were traded, and, Lonzo stepping up, probably playing some of the best ball of his professional career right now. And Brandon Ingram's always kind of been a pretty solid player, but I think he's doing, a lot of justice to the Pelicans right now. So I think, getting Zion in there, it's just going to be very interesting to see. But again, I wasn't sure if you actually ever kept up with any of that or not, but I figured there would be a lot of hype down in Louisiana for him. So
for sure,
yeah, it's an exciting time to be a New Orleans, Louisiana sports fan.
Yeah,
unlike up here in Washington. Well, I guess we won the World Series. Well, I'll take that. We beat the cheating ass Houston Astros, but and we got a Stanley Cup too. I guess I can't say too much, but I'm really. I mean,
that's not bad.
Football and basketball are my 2 sports, and unfortunately, those are just so underwhelming when it comes to those 2, and the Redskins and the Wizards. But maybe this is the question I want to ask you, because just selfishly, because I like hearing about this kind of stuff. What was it like? And you probably have maybe experienced it before, because I'm sure you experienced the Saints Super Bowl and another LSU championship. But what was it like actually being there in your team winning a championship? Like, is there a feeling? Is it what kind of feelings came over you in that moment?
Man, I'll tell you, this will be you'll hear the soft side of Brody, and Joey probably knows a little more about the soft side of Brody than anyone. But I'll reveal something. When Lauren Daigle came out and sang the national anthem with the president, we're not going to talk politics. With the president standing there and the ROTCs from the two colleges, and I lost it. We were all, my whole family had tears running down our eyes. It was unbelievable. That kickoff, that start before the game even started, you know, that was the most unfreaking believable thing I've ever been through. It was you know, talking about it now gets me feeling good, because it was something that I probably never experience again.
Right.
I hope I do, but if I don't, I'll be glad that I did.
Yeah.
And then there was a point in the game where we just, you know, it was over. We knew it was over, and we knew we had it. And I captured that last 2 minutes of the game on my cell phone. And, you know, being able to be there and experience it with my family was probably the biggest part. But it's really hard to describe how I felt. I was, you know, it was almost euphoric, kind of surreal,
right?
You know, where you can't even describe what your true feeling is, other than you got this overwhelming warm feeling in your body where you're like, this is real, you know, like we just looked at each other and saying, this is really happening right now. And then to watch the end and watch the players come out and the coach, and they get up on the stage and accept the trophy and do all that. It was unbelievable. We left there. We stayed, you know, for a solid 45 minutes after the game was over, until everybody was gone.
Yeah.
And that was an incredible feeling. And then walking out of the Superdome with nothing but LSU fans, because of course all the Clemson fans had left.
Yeah.
So it was just LSU fans, and I mean, it was just constant cheering, walking all the way to the parking garage, and people just, you know, every little small group you passed by, they were like, you know, we fucking won. We fucking, you know, it's like people were just like, and you know, so you had to, and I didn't really have a chance the next day to kind of soak it up.
Right.
But I did when I got to Houston, and I sat down at the smoke ring, lit the cigar, and we were the guys were just asking me, you know, asking questions, and so I had a chance to finally like soak it up, and it was like, man, it's a feeling. I just, again, like, it's surreal. It still sometimes doesn't feel real, and I even you know, I recorded it, DVR'd it, and I wanted to watch the whole game, you know, from a TV perspective to see what was said and what they did, and it's just like the smiles on your face because you know what's coming, and it's like it's just it's so good to go back and watch and listen to what they're saying, and listening to these guys saying, you know, oh, looks like Clemson's gonna, you know, they're making their move. This is you know, it's going to be a shootout. This game's going to come down to one possession. They were saying all those things, and I was just all the whole time I'm thinking to myself, nope, not going to happen.
Yeah,
not with this team.
That's just like that's the feeling that we all chase, being fans of sports teams. You know what I mean? And you're lucky if you get to experience it, like you said, at least once in your life. So, you know, it's kind of cool to vicariously hear about it firsthand from you, because, you know, I ain't holding, like I said, I ain't holding my breath for a Redskins Super Bowl anytime soon. And, you know, so I have a little bit of fan envy in a sense, you know, just knowing that you got to experience that. And I think, you know, we all can kind of relate to say, you know, I just like hearing it, because I think, you know, I would love, of course, for everyone to be able to experience that about their team, except for Cowboys fans, at least once in their life. But, you know, it's not possible. I mean, that's why you play the game, you know, you win or you lose. But yeah, that's awesome, man. Sounds like it was like you said, super surreal, just, you know, kind of euphoric moment. And I think it's pretty cool and unique that you got to be there with your whole family too. That's pretty awesome.
You know,
and I purposely, I'll say this real quick. Sorry, Joey, but I purposely didn't drink very much Like I did that on purpose because I really wanted to soak up the moment, because there were many people around us that were so drunk that they probably don't even remember.
Oh, right.
And I'm thinking, you spent $1,500 on this ticket and you can't even, you won't even remember the moment. And I was like, I'm not gonna, my head's not gonna be clouded. And I'm gonna be, so we all, my kids are all old enough to drink too. So we all had a couple of beers prior to, and we said, we all decided, hey, we're going to cut it off here, and we're going to enjoy this game for what it's worth, and with a clear head, and that, I think that helped. It's always fun to get drunk and party, especially if you're sitting at the house with the guys and stuff. But I wanted to soak it up. So.
Yeah, get trashed after in the celebration.
Exactly.
Well, look, man. So my team, I'm a Giants fan. So I was able to watch them win 2 Super Bowls. Unfortunately, I wasn't there in person. I mean, 7 and 11, I wasn't able, in 2007, I was a fucking sophomore in high school, no money. 2011, I was in college, no money. So I wasn't able
now
to go.
We're 28 and 29 with no money.
No money, yeah, right. But I mean, I can kind of, say that just watching from TV, knowing that, I mean, look, I'm a Knicks fan through and through, and they're probably, I don't even know if they're going to be in the playoffs,
this decade
before I die again, but being able to see your team, something that you support very strongly and believe in so passionately, win anything, whether it's on TV or in person, I can't explain the feeling that came over me when I'm like, holy shit, my team won, and both times was against the Patriots. And, I couldn't imagine being there live, I mean, I got chills watching the game and, seeing, Eli Manning, and, it's just, it's something that, I don't think a lot of people understand. And, I don't know how it feels every time a Warriors fan or whatever win a championship. And I'm just like,
Patriots fans got it 6 times.
Yeah.
I got chills you just describing it. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, you were describing it a little bit, and some chills came over me.
Well, that's the way it felt. It felt like that the whole time. And again, I'll preface the point of the national anthem and how that went was probably the most incredible start to that game that really set the mood for all of us. And looking over at my kids and wife and going, I mean, they were all of us. I mean, we were just all taken by the moment. And the national anthem is powerful.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And when someone sings it so beautifully, and then again, like I said, not politics aside, it's the president.
Sure.
And you've got your president out there on the field, standing there. It's like, wow. I mean, it's just like, what a moment. I mean, just like I'm telling you, I'll be lucky if that ever happens ever again in my life. So I'm gonna cherish it forever.
That's awesome, dude. Well, thank you for sharing that moment with us, and
sure,
and letting us know about that. Because, like I said, might have been a little selfish question on my end, just having to know what that was like. Like I said, a little bit of fan envy, but I appreciate you sharing that. So, real quick, I think we're probably about wrapping up here in just a little bit, but I want to ask you one more thing. You said you got some goodies down there at Stogie's. Anything you want to share that you're excited about that you got?
Let's see. So, well, first of all, I mean, like I said, I got a couple of the H-Town Neanderthals. We got a couple of those. Then I've got let's see. I'm looking through my stash right here.
I love that freaking Neanderthal, man. I smoked that. I was at the casino last weekend or weekend before, I don't know, but I smoked one of those at like 3 a.m. When we were at the casino gambling. And it was my first one, but I freaking love that cigar. I didn't have the Lancero or the H-Town, but
Brody, the next time we get you on to the podcast, we need to both smoke the H-Town Lancero since we both have them, and kind of compare notes. I'm pretty interested to see how that goes with you.
Yeah, we do, because I've had many of them, and of the ones that I've had, every single one has produced the same, awesome result. I mean, they're just, again, there's a love-hate around Lanceros, Some people, and I understand the feeling about what some people think about Lanceros. You know, they feel like you're all a wrapper, and you're not getting that beautiful blend because there's not so much in there. But but you're also getting a ton of flavor when you got the right wrapper on that Lancero.
Yep.
So it's that's what makes it for me. And then the Roma Craft, the H Town Neanderthal is extremely consistent. So they've had, I think, 5 or 6 times they've put them out and sent them over here to Stogie. And each time they've done the next round they've done it exactly the way the other one was. Nothing changed. The construction, the burn, the flavor, nothing. The profile, nothing changes on it. So that's what's really cool about it. Is it's like, because you know how sometimes whenever you have like a second release or a third release, things, sometimes you lose. Oftentimes you end up losing what first brought you there.
It's just never the same.
I find that these don't. They don't lose anything. They're extremely consistent. So so Joey, no doubt we need to burn those, and I know you'll enjoy it. I mean, it's an incredible cigar.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's certain Vitolas I don't like and whatnot, but the Lancero is one that I really do like. I mean, technically speaking, the majority of your flavor comes from the wrapper. So I think that a lot of Lanceros, as you mentioned, do pack more of a flavorful punch because you're getting more wrapper. And I get a lot of people's, disagreements and dislikes and distastes for it. And that's fine. I mean, I don't like really
I don't get it.
anything above like a 54 ring gauge, you know what I mean? So, everybody's different.
Right.
That's fine. And that's what makes it interesting, when we talk about cigars, it's just always nice to see what somebody likes and, what somebody hates. You might love, it might be one of your top cigars. So
exactly. And I also appreciate the craft,
Yes.
It's an extremely difficult cigar to roll. I mean, it's by far that is extremely difficult to roll, and they often have rejects on them. And a lot of the master blenders and some of the guys that have these lines, they don't necessarily like to do them because they have the rejects, and or they don't have the master roller that can do them perfectly and consistent. And so you do have some that they put out that don't burn well, that are constantly going out, that are trouble to, they don't, they're tight, really, really tight sometimes. And so you have to end up either getting the perfect draw out and stabbing it or something like that. But just to me, if somebody does it right and has got the right person doing it, I appreciate the craftsmanship of a Lancero. So that's why I'm such a Lancero whore, I guess. I mean, everybody in cigar society knows that about me. And
yeah.
I tend to keep about 150 to 200 Lanceros in my humidor at any given time. So I always
subtle flex.
I always have them.
Subtle,
I always have them to go to.
Flex.
Hey, Brody, listen, man. Since we're talking about Lanceros, and you said that was it Jorge is the Lancero King? You need to check with him. Have you ever had the La Musa Malete Lancero by Emilio Cigars?
I have not.
All right, so
I wonder if he has it.
Yeah, I was about to say you should ask him if he has that, because that is hands down the best Lancero I've ever had in my entire life. It's just like caramel, brownie, maple syrup. I mean, dude, that cigar is absolutely phenomenal. They're hard, if damn near not impossible to find. But if this guy's, the Lancero King, and he has some, you need to check, because if he does, you need to grab one. And I would love to hear what you think of that.
Cool. Well, I'll ask him when we get off. I'll walk inside and see if we can see if he's got some hidden somewhere, or if he even has the ability to get them.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, he is by far I'll say it again, the Lancero King. And this guy, if it comes in a Lancero, Lonsdale, any kind of, not really, just the smaller ring gauge, but the longer length, he's going to have it. or he'll, and then he really pushes these guys to make the H-Town blends. And I think he has somewhere between 10 and 15 H-Town blends that have the special H-Town band on them.
Oh, sweet.
And yeah, so, and you can actually, by the way, go on the website, on Stogie's website. I'm not being paid for this. You go on the Stogie's website, and they have the H-Town Lancero sampler, and I believe it is 10, and it's like $89 for 10.
Shit, that's good.
And,
nice.
And you get a great sampling of all of them. So it's just something for everybody to be able to pick up, and they'll ship too.
Oh,
so
yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I'm gonna have to check that out. So
I'll tell you what, man. If the La Musa Malete Lancero was in regular production, it would probably be my number one cigar. But I just can't rank a cigar that I damn near probably won't ever really get the chance to smoke again in my lifetime in my list. Just seems kind of unfair. But that's pretty much how fucking good it is to me.
nice.
awesome. Well, I'll check it out.
That's an endorsement right there. Well, hey Brody, one last thing, and then we're gonna let you go. All right, man.
All right, man.
And I'm gonna put you on the spot a little bit.
God.
Do you have a number one cigar for 2019?
Oh man, I'm horrible with the number one cigar for 2019. I'll tell you what. I'm going to give you the one that I can. It came to my mind just now, right when you said it.
Okay.
And I actually bought one here because I always buy one where I can get one, and it's a Lancero.
Okay.
And it's the Plasencia Alma del Fuego.
Nice. Yes.
You know what I'm talking about?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I smoked one 2 weeks ago on the podcast. Not a Lancero, but I smoked the Robusto or something like that.
Well, I really love that cigar in Lancero size, the Vitola, or Vitola. What did we decide on that? Was it Vitola?
I don't
Vitola.
I'm a Vitola guy. I don't think I'll ever say
I
that.
don't know. I don't think we ever decided, but I'm just going to continue calling it whatever the fuck I want.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I like it. I like it in the Lancero, but the Plasencia Alma del Fuego
nice.
is I would call it from a 2019 release. It's my top.
Awesome.
That's
man.
awesome, man.
Well, there you guys have it. You got Brody's number one cigar, and you got his thoughts on LSU and Joe Burrow, Smokin' Joe. He should take the mantra of Smokin' Joe now from I believe was it Namath who was smoking. Yeah. So Brody, they can find you on Instagram, right? Cigar Spy.
Yeah, Cigar Spy. So I think it's cigar_spy. I think there's another Cigar Spy out there that came out after. And I sent him an ugly gram and said, "You stole my name, you bastard." But when I originally did it, there was none.
Yeah.
But so I did the underscore only because Cigar Spy was there, but I did the underscore just to separate the words.
Yeah.
But yeah, Cigar Spy on Instagram. And of course, you can find me in the Cigar Society.
Absolutely.
They'll know you by having Crappy's brother or cousin, whatever we determined, Shitty. They'll see. Yes. I'm holding Crappy up now. You gave me the inspiration. I can't take any credit. Brody was the OG. Had the owl, and I wanted to pay a little homage to you by having our own owl here. I'm
going to give you a 2-minute story. Maybe a minute. Let's say it's a minute.
I want to hear it.
The reason why I bought that owl. So the house I used to live in, right next to my bedroom window, I kept hearing this bird that would chirp at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning constantly. Chip, 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 just aggravating as hell.
Yeah.
Someone that's a friend of mine who works at this farming store. I don't know what you call those stores. Anyway, he said, well, if you want to get rid of birds hanging around underneath your porch or patio, get one of these owls with the rocking head, and just the fact that it's there will chase these birds away. And I said, all right. So I went and bought one, and I put it out there, and I said, okay, this is going to be good. And then about 2 a.m., it started chirping, and I went, he's not even afraid of the owl. This he's the devil.
Oh shit!
But listen, I'm going to end it. I'm going to end it with this. This is the funny part of it. I found out through some late night bring out the flashlight, do some covert work, figuring out what it was. It wasn't a freaking bird. It was a damn frog.
Oh. Yo, I thought you were about to say you found out the bird was a fucking owl. That's why I wasn't afraid of it.
So it was a frog that sounded like a bird? Like, is that a...
yes, it chirps like a freaking bird. It
Jesus.
goes, chip, chip, just like that. Yeah,
so the owl should work, but it didn't work in this case because of the...
And that's why Brody moved, bro. He said, I can't take that fucking
part
frog.
of the reason why, but also I bought the most expensive destroying Roundup type shit, and I sprayed it everywhere. And needless to say, I'm sure I murdered him and his family.
Yeah, but Shitty got to stay then, so he became part of.
Oh yeah, Shitty became part of it. And then the funny thing is, my granddaughter loves owls now. So if you've noticed, you see owls here. I mean, we have an owl tree.
Yeah.
For Christmas.
Really? Nice.
No, yeah, I've seen all that. Birdie actually gives me a lot of owl facts because I saw this trending picture on Facebook. I don't know. I'd say this was about a month or two ago. I was messaging Birdie at like 2 a.m. talking about fucking owls because I didn't realize they had legs. I thought their feet were just attached to their fucking assholes.
Yeah, right.
and Birdie gave me all kinds of facts. So he turns out, Birdie's quite the owl man.
Yeah. So if you want either cigar posts or owl facts, hit Brody up.
He'll give it to you.
Well, hey man, thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah, this ain't the last one, man. We had a lot of fun tonight and getting your opinion on stuff. And I'm just going to go ahead and throw this out there. We've kind of been talking a little bit with Birdie. He's, we're going to kind of collaborate and do some reviews and stuff with him.
Everybody does it that way.
He's going to be doing some written reviews or video reviews, whatever he chooses. So you're going to see a little bit more from Birdie. So, I strongly advise you guys to go follow him, Cigar Spy on Instagram, and check him out. Birdie is somebody, I haven't met. We met online through our cigar groups. We left
dated a while,
yeah. Never got down his pants. He's a tough cookie, but
he's a classy lady.
He, Birdie is somebody that, I one day hope to grow up to be as good of a human being and father and husband and dad as he is. And, we have a lot of serious conversations, and, I love you, brother.
Love you, man. Appreciate it. Appreciate everything you guys are doing, and look forward to doing some reviews and doing some more stuff, man. We'll, I'll help out where I can and when I can, and I appreciate it. Logan, I also appreciate you doing all the technical stuff and making all this stuff happen. So it's great. I even though we're this far apart, we can connect like this, and I think that makes it awesome.
Hell yeah, brother.
Yeah, that's what it's all about, man. And we love it. Your voice. We love hearing your voice. I can tell you that. But look, man, this ain't the last one. We'll be seeing you at the Crawfish Boil April 25th on Saturday, right?
Hell yeah.
But look, man, we appreciate you coming on again. This ain't going to be the last one. We'll collaborate. We'll do some more stuff. So again, Cigar Spy on Instagram. Brody, thanks for coming on, talking to us a little bit, man. We absolutely love it. We had a lot of fun with you.
All right, guys. Take care.
Take care. Safe travels, man.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.
All right, guys. There you have it. Our conversation with Brody. Can't thank him enough for coming on. We both are just so excited that we got to have him here. And we got to share a conversation with you guys because, he's like we said, near and dear to both our hearts, and really just great guy to talk to.
Yeah, he is. He's the epitome of somebody that you want to go meet in a lounge.
Absolutely.
If you go into a lounge and you want to meet anybody, you're gonna want it to be somebody, if not Birdie, somebody close to him. And I don't think that's possible. But let's kind of wrap this up with the notes on our cigars, especially for you and me both smoking a cigar for the first time we've never had. So
yeah,
what do you think?
This thing was amazing. Flavor is pretty much exactly how I kind of expected it to be, with this, really dark wrapper. I wish I had those stats on it right now. I couldn't tell you if it's, what it is, but Maduro definitely. But, it's just one of those really rich, peppery throughout, but never overpowering. Some chocolate, some wood, just leaves a nice taste on the palate that's kind of clean. But still lingers just enough where you don't feel like it's almost like too much for you. Really enjoyable. Can see why everybody likes it. I had a little bit of a burn issue throughout, but I'm gonna definitely chalk that up to the conversation again. You know, we kind of probably don't even have to keep saying that anymore. Probably won't even be mentioning it from here on out, but just, you know, talking and, you know, had to touch up a little bit. But man, this thing was good. You know, I'm rating wise, I'm probably sitting at like, you know, right at like a 96
That's
for
good.
me.
It's a good score.
Really great cigar. Can't wait to smoke some more of them and try the different Vitolas. And I even have a Lancero, which we talked about a little bit tonight.
Yeah.
Some Lancero action. So definitely going to give that, you know, the proper amount of rest and revisit that one for sure. So yeah, 96 for me. The Tabernacle Havana Seed. Definitely recommend you guys go out and find the cigar. The hype is real. Can definitely see why people enjoyed it. Yeah. What about you?
Yeah. So, I mean, this cigar has been out, I believe, since like, I don't know, I'm thinking maybe 2016, 2017. I could be wrong on that. But I've always wanted to try them. And for whatever reason, I mean, you know, there's so many brands out there. I just never really got around to buying too many, you know, anything that Black Label Trading Company makes. So I've always wanted to try this. And, you know, it's coffee kicked in right through the halfway point. The peppers stayed pretty much throughout, which I really like. Very creamy, great smoke output. The burn was pretty phenomenal all the way through. Ash fell off in solid chunks. Little like dried like apricot, you know, notes in there.
Nice.
Woody. I mean, it's super complex. You know, it's not like one of those cigars that we get and it's just like has 2 or 3 flavor profiles all the way throughout. I mean, this thing is ever changing. You know, picked up some vanilla some way through there. I mean, we didn't do too many tasting notes throughout because we were, you know, kind of talking to Birdie and whatnot. But I mean, this thing is super complex. I really like it. If I had to rate it, I would probably give it like a 95 right now.
Very nice.
Solid cigar. And I have another one, so I'm definitely going to revisit again, see if it changes, gets worse, gets better. But right now, the one that I had, perfect, 95. And I really enjoyed it.
Awesome, man.
So
There
that
you have it.
said,
Yeah. Tell them where they can find us.
you can
before we
find
go.
us Instagram at Team Kickash. We're on Facebook. Just search the Kickin' Ash Cigar Podcast. You can also search Kickin' Ash on Spotify, YouTube. We're on Apple Podcasts. We're even on Anchor now, I believe.
Yep.
If you're familiar with Anchor at all. If not, feel free to message the Team Kickash Instagram page. That's the one that we're most active on. And, you know, either Logan or I, one would be more than happy to give you some information on that. And then again, I'm going to throw this out there, Brody. You can find him at Cigar Spy on Instagram. And then we also have a cigar group called Cigar Society on Facebook. Please find us, and you know, we'd be more than happy to get you in. We're always welcoming new faces and people that are passionate about the same thing that we are. And then, of course, we can't forget our episode sponsor, Stinky Cigar, Stinky Ashtrays. And you can use the coupon code Kickin' Ash for 33% off any product. They have like 82 products, so 33% off anything that you want. They're amazing products, and you know, we're still very thankful for Stinky. Still have a giveaway coming up on one of those. We just kind of got to space them out because we have a lot of giveaways.
Yes.
We have some exciting partnerships coming up still.
We have one to talk about.
What?
Correct? Our giveaway.
Oh yeah! Holy shit! I forgot about that.
I was like, we're forgetting about something
Yeah.
completely. Holy crap, guys! This is how fly by the seat of our pants we've been tonight. But
Yep.
We have a giveaway to announce. The link is going to be live tonight, which is Tuesday night. You'll probably be seeing this on Wednesday or someday later in the week. So the link will already be live in this description. We have a giveaway that we're going to be talking about, you know, more on next week's episode.
Keep
for
talking.
sure.
I'll be right back.
Yeah. But we are giving away 2 Fratello space packs. So there will be 2 winners to this giveaway. And it's going to give you a Fratello space pack, and you're going to get some Fratello swag. He's looking for the swag, but I have it stashed so that it's so I don't get tempted to buy it.
Scratch what I just did.
Yeah. But so yeah, we're giving away 2 Fratello space packs. You get 4 Fratello cigars in it each. I'm going to put a picture of that up right now so you can see that. And all you have to do is click on the link, and it has some instructions on how to enter. And there's different things that you can do to enter that get you more entries. So there's not just one entry per person. The more you do, the more things you go to. One of them is check out Fratello's Imperfect Pairings on YouTube. You get a couple entries for that. You get an entry for going to our Instagram. You get an entry for going to our Facebook. So it's really exciting stuff. Like I said, we're going to have more about it next week, but we wanted to go ahead and get the giveaway out there so people can start entering. So we have, a decent amount of time. It's running for a couple weeks. But yeah, we're super excited to be partnering with Fratello because they have, like we've said before, been one of our favorite brands of cigars. Justin over there at Fratello Cigars was so gracious enough to hook us up with this prize for you guys because he, has seen the podcast and seen us smoking Fratello cigars on there and was gracious enough to, kind of collaborate with us on this. And we're hoping to get, either himself or maybe even Omar onto the podcast, maybe both. And get them to talk a little bit more about some of the cigars that you can get in the space pack. But yeah, guys, check that out because we're really excited about this. They've got not only are you going to get the space pack, but like I said, you're going to get some swag. The Fratello, these really cool like Fratello bottle openers, and a nice Fratello sticker. And that's all that sexy band logo that we talked about on our sexy bands episode. If you haven't listened to that, so it's really cool stuff. And haven't got a chance to smoke two of the cigars in there, the Sorella and the Arlequin. But I've heard really good things about them. But the other one you get is the what I call the OG Fratello, just the original Fratello cigar, and then the Bianco.
Yes.
And those two cigars, I
both are amazing.
Yeah, both of us can vouch that they're amazing cigars. And I'm certain I would already put money on the fact that the Sorella and Arlequin are going to be amazing as well. So
yeah, I mean, look, we told you guys to follow us for a reason. I mean, we're doing a lot of exciting things. Again, I have a partnership in the works. I'm just waiting for the gentleman to get back from Dominican Republic. We're going to be talking with him, possibly doing a giveaway there, some reviews on some of his stuff. So we're very excited about that. I'm not going to release anything else until that's actually slated. We have another partnership where we have some stuff coming in the mail to us that we're very, very excited about. I already got a notification today that that's actually en route to me. So very, very hype about that. Mm-hmm. We may talk about that on our episode next week. So it should be here by then. But, aside from that, man, I mean, free cigars, free ashtrays, free swag. I mean, we're doing as many giveaways and stuff as we can to kind of, help grow us and help get some more attention to these other companies out here as well. So we're very excited. We still plan on doing another Blackbird episode and getting Jonas on. And, we have a lot of great stuff in the works. We're always working hard and communicating and emailing back and forth with a lot of brand owners and so forth. So a lot of exciting things happening. It's not going to be the last you hear from us. Also, I totally forgot. We have a website now.
Yeah, we do, which I couldn't give you the actual link to it because it's a free website that we have for now, but I'll put that in a link to it too, so you guys can check that out, see all of our content under one roof. We alluded that we're going to get some more stuff going with Brody with that. So yeah, guys, well, we really appreciate you, supporting us. The support we've gotten, we've said it before, up until this point has been more than we could have ever expected. Obviously, we just hope that we keep rolling and keep on the upward trend that we've been on. Yeah. But so far we've just wanted to give back to you guys and I'm happy that we're starting off with Fratello, a brand that we both
absolutely
really love. Them
starting 2020 out right.
Yep.
If you ask me.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, and again, keep in mind that's not one space pack with the swag. That's two space packs with the swag.
Yep. So two people are going to win.
Yeah.
Two people are going to win that. And like I said, more about that next week. But yeah, guys, thanks again for tuning in, listening. Whether it's, on YouTube watching us or whether it's just listening in on, on your favorite podcast app, we really appreciate it. And so with that being said, like we always say,
have a kick-ass day. It's been a while, so near.